My name is Larissa. I'm 22 years old. I'm a psychology student and I have been a part of the Volpower project for a year and a half, maybe. Well, I was born here in Zagreb, in Croatia. My mom is also from Zagreb and my dad is from Bosnia. And me personally, I've never had any bad experiences. I was never discriminated based on my religion or my ethnicity, but I know a lot of people and a lot of friends who did and who had some pretty bad and pretty hard situations. And a lot of them went to my school. I went to the Islamic gymnasium as a high school in the mosque. And I think I'm pretty lucky that I've never survived something like that. So that was actually the reason I wanted to do this, and I wanted to talk about this and try and show people that there is more to a person than the thing she believes in or he believes in, and more than the country he or she comes from.
Why did you join Volpower? How? I wasn't there.
So me and my friends, we were a part of that Balkan school. It was like a cycle of workshops and lectures about different kinds of Turkish culture. And it was pretty interesting. And for our final let's say homework, but it wasn't a homework. We had to come up with some project that we would like to do and that we would like to include our young people, our friends from the mosque. And my friends and I talked and we decided that forum theater would be a great way to do so, because it would involve young people, it would involve a wider audience, a bigger crowd, and we can talk about problems like discrimination and oppression, and they're pretty common nowadays. So we came up with the whole program. We wrote down how would we do our workshops. And on our final day, when we presented that, we met Senada from IRMO, and she told us about Volpower. She told us what's the aim, what do you do, and she asked us would we like to participate and be a part of it, and we said yes, because we loved it and we thought that it fits perfectly with our forum theater.
What was your contribution to the Volpower? How did you volunteer?
Well, we designed forum theater is actually like a game, like a theater game where everyone can participate. You don't have to be a professional actor. It's preferable if you're an amateur or a volunteer. And forum theater is used to discuss all kinds of problems related to oppression. Um, the basis of forum theater is actually a forum scene where you talk about some kind of oppression, and you have characters, you have the oppressor, you have the victim, and you have the neutral faces. And the scene is, you have a script, but it's pretty much improvised, because in the scene the audience also um participates. You have the audience and you act out the scene and stop the scene in the crucial moment where the oppressor is starting to oppress the victim. And then you ask the audience, what can we do to stop this? Which behavior would you change? But you cannot change the oppressor's behavior. You can change all of the actors, the victim, the neutral faces, but the oppressor always acts the same. So you basically learn people how to stop conflicts and how to change the outcomes of such conflicts.
Were there more diverse cultures in this theater?
Yes, most of us, there were four of us, like coordinators, me and my friends, and we had 15 volunteers. Most of us are from Bosnia, but we had two people from Syria. We had two people from Albania, and two people born here. Most of us know what it's like to be a newcomer because of our parents or because of us. For example, one of our volunteers was new. He came to Croatia maybe 5-6 years ago. So I think it was a lot easier for him to talk with us because we kind of know his situation, and he was glad to share and to tell his experience.
Did you gain some artistic skills or
Yes, of
technical?
course. We all had to act, so it was a great way to improve your acting skills, and for me it was a great way to get rid of my fear from social performing and public appearances. Well, I think that theater is a great way to express one's feelings, one's attitudes, thoughts, and stuff like that. And through theater, I think a lot of our volunteers were, it was easier for them to show their emotion, and it was easier for them to put themselves in a context and to become some character that is not them, but still through that character they could express their emotions, and later if they wanted to they could talk about us. They could say, we had actually one class where we talked with them and we asked our volunteers, did they have any um, different situations, did they have any conflicts based on their religion, and actually 3 of them shared their stories with us, and those were the stories we used for our forum scenes. So I think it was a great way for them to open up and to talk with us. I believe that everything is easier if you have people to share it with. So I think they were relieved and they were happy that someone wanted to listen and that they were people who understood them.
Do you think that volunteering is important?
Of course, I didn't know how much it is important and how big the impact of volunteering is. I mean, I always knew it was something good and it was something worth doing, but when I started doing it, then I actually realized how much it is important. Because it made me realize that things like culture, religion, ethnicity should never be an obstacle for friendship and for developing different relationships and for meeting new people. And basically, we are all the same. Through my high school, we learned what is happening in Syria, for example, but I've never had a direct contact with a person who survived it. And when our volunteer came and when we talked to him, it was like learning from firsthand what it's like and how hard it is to survive something like that. And I think it's important that most of young people hear such things, because it shows you how hard it can be and how awful some situations are, and how you shouldn't judge a person by their religion or ethnicity. So yeah, I think it was definitely a learning experience for me.
What was the most memorable experience during the Volpower project
Oh, I
for
think
you?
that's a hard question. Yeah, because yeah, I liked the whole journey, to be honest. I can't like pinpoint one moment, but I think the best was when we just started working with our volunteers and when we started to get to know each other. We knew our volunteers a little because we saw them in the mosque or in the school, but it was all superficial. So when we started to introduce ourselves and to show some of our talents and to joke, I think it was great. I would like to say that everyone should try volunteering, and I think it will help people a lot to develop themselves, to become a better person, to build character, and of course you will meet wonderful people. So yeah, I would recommend for anyone.
Did you gain new friendships?
Yes, of course. I made friends with a lot of people. As I said, I knew them like I used to say hi to them, or I used to meet them in school, but we never talked. And now, because of Volpower and our forum theater, I really gained new friends, and I think it's great.
If you could use a couple of words, 5 to 10 words, to describe how you will remember Volpower, how would you do that?
Well, the words I would use: patience, organization, happiness, fun, uh, humor and laughing, new experience, and friends.